Alright, hello everyone. It's been a while. Um, I'm very surprised that it's already been a year since the last one. Um, this is going to be my thoughts on this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and I also just wanted to touch upon anime series that I wanted to talk about. If you haven't seen my community post, I suggest you look at it there because I've generalized a lot of my thoughts there, but I don't dive too into it. So I hope I'm going to be able to talk about them here rather than in a video that I was going to make. So again, just like last year, fall is not included. Um, I don't know if this is the new standard or not. Um, Probably because of second seasons that might air into the winter season, but I still feel like it should include fall, just maybe the first half of those series, or just exclude those series in general from the Anime Awards, and then keep the ones that air during the fall only to be in the Anime Awards. Because now 2023 is going to be from fall 2022 to the summer, and I feel like it's just not fair to the fall anime that we just had. So again, I'm going to start from the bottom up. Um, Hopefully this video won't be too long compared to like last time where it was over an hour long. But I'll try to generalize a lot of things. I have my list here just in case I forget things, but I guess I should start here. Okay, so first of all, best voice actor artist in English. I of course don't watch in English, so I'm just gonna pick a random one in the end. I'm just gonna skip it right now. So I'm gonna switch to Japanese artists first. Okay, so we have Anya Forger, Denji, Luffy, Pochi the Rock, Eren Yeager, and Satoru Kosha. Okay, so the first question that I need to talk about is the special part 2 counted? Okay, no, it's not. So it's only the first special because the second special actually was in the fall, so it doesn't count. Meaning that we're gonna vote for Attack on Titan next year anyways, if people are going to do that. Um, I'm sorry, but this is literally just a. This is just a shonen. Like, this is literally just the shonen pick here. Like, everything on here is shonen except for Bochi the Rock. And I know Eren has won several years now. Denji is just Denji is just funny, bruh. Like it his voice actor did well. I know most people were actually not too happy, but off the top of my head, I can't really find other anime that has done like an outstanding job in their voice acting. I do not pay attention that much to it, but out of these six, obviously I have not watched One Piece, so One Piece is out. If you guys saw, I did not watch season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen, so that's out too. I know what Gojo sounds like, obviously, so I honestly don't need to recognize that. Um, I think I would just put Bochi here, depending on the other categories. But let me see if I, once I switch to another one, see if I can keep the one that I have. No, it does not. Okay, so I'm just going to choose the one off the bat. and I honestly think it's Bochi. Bochi's voice actor is probably like the newest feel, or like the way that she expressed Bochi is actually amazing. Like, we've all seen the memes of how, oh my gosh, she's like me for real. But honestly, if it wasn't for the voice actor, they wouldn't have conveyed Bochi better. So I feel like out of all of these, I would still go with Bochi. So I'm just gonna put right here. Okay, 1 out of 25. Jesus. Why is there so many this year? Okay. Best ending sequence. Okay. So, Akari, Color, Happiness of the Dead from Psalm 100, Chainsaw Man, Quick, and Mayfest. Okay. This one is a no-brainer. I don't think there's any competition in this one, but let's just go through it anyway. Again, I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen. Zon 100 was one of the things that I didn't um, watch, as probably seen. I just feel like Demon Slayer is here just because it's Demon Slayer. Like, every single category, there's probably going to be Demon Slayer again. There's probably going to be Spy X Family again. Like, the repetition that is going to happen for the next few years is going to be insane. Like, Spy X Family Season 2 was not on here because obviously it's in the fall. Demon Slayer is again airing next year, so Chainsaw Man, there's 12 different endings. So which one is this one? um, I will see right now if this is the one that I think it is right now. So okay, so I just re-listened to Chainsaw Man's ED. I think it is actually the first one. So the worst part is that I don't even think that was the best ending to the series. Um, I'm trying to go through my list right now, see if there's anything better. Um, I would actually argue that Boku no Hero's ED was actually good. Both of them, I would say. Um, there's things like Mob Psycho, Bocchi the Rock's ending. There's 3 of them yet, not a single one made it on here. Um, Onimai had a good ending. Buddy Daddies had a good ending. What is this called? The Dangers of My Heart's ending was really good. There is a lot more endings out there that is definitely better than Demon Slayers or Jujutsu Kaisen's. I feel like there's definitely a lot more variety that they could have chosen, and again, it still disappoints that they don't have other series that are on here. It's like Demon Slayer is here for the sake of Demon Slayer, right? Like, you really think there's nothing better than that ending? But if there is one ending that I will always remember, it is obviously Oshinoko's. The reason why is a no-brainer, I feel like. This is the song that I feel like definitely made episodes better and stand out. It's like when the ending of the episode came and this song played, I just felt so much chills go down my spine whenever I heard that. The scene in episode 6 where Akane just starts to become I. It was absolutely amazing. every single time this song, whether the fact that it just slapped or not, or if it was for story purposes, this was the ending song that I feel like I will remember for a long time. Um, I personally think that it's even better than the opening, but that's of course just me. But I feel like this is definitely a no-brainer. If this does not win, um, I'm going to be very upset. So I'm voting for this. Um, okay, best opening sequence. There's a lot of good openings this year, but I will have to say that um, if Demon Slayer's on here, then I feel like these judges just don't have enough taste, man. Okay, Demon Slayer is not on here. Let's go. Okay, so we have Idol, we have Heavenly Delusion, Chainsaw Man's, so 100, Hell's Paradise, and Jujutsu Kaisen. So I just realized that Jujutsu Kaisen, the Shibuya arc, is not even counted this specific time because it's with. I thought there were a few episodes that aired outside the time frame or inside the time frame. So I'm very surprised that Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya arc wasn't even counted towards this. Obviously, it did go into fall, so maybe that's why it didn't count. But honestly, I think this just makes it way easier for me to choose which one. And surprisingly, it's a no-brainer here. I think it's also Oshinoko. The reason being is the stuff that I have watched. Again, haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. Chainsaw Man, everybody was going ham on Chainsaw Man's OP, but I personally do not really like the OP at all. Um, I get people are hype over it. Um, I love the artist as well, but I just don't think this is his better songs. Heavenly Delusion I did not watch. Zama 100 I did not watch. And Hell's Paradise I did not watch. So, and I've actually heard Season 2's opening for Jujutsu Kaisen. And I honestly think it's really good. But, I'm scrolling through my list again. But, for a music show, I'm genuinely surprised that Bochi the Rock was not on here. Mob Psycho 100 was not on here, especially since it was the last season and I think it had the best opening. Onimai had a good opening. Buddy Daddies had a good opening. People kind of underrate Ayase because they always tend to think about Yoasobi first. Um, The Dangers of My Heart had a good OP. Skip to Loafer's OP was actually good as heck. And then, oh yeah, Demon Slayer is actually not on here. So that's the one good thing that I saw. Um, the closest one that would absolutely beat um, Idol for me, I would say, is actually My Happy Marriage. Um, when I first heard My Happy Marriage's opening, I was really close to crying. Like, undeniably, because after that first episode and I just heard that opening play, it felt very surreal. It feels like I feel like I was in a situation where um, I could genuinely feel what um, Mio was feeling. Um, that song was so calming, and despite what you see within the first episode, it's kind of insane to think about when the opening played. And also the visuals were really good. Um, Obviously not as good as some of these other ones, but um, I would personally say My Happy Marriage would be my favorite opening. Um, but out of these 6 choices, Idol's the only one that I actually genuinely like, and um, obviously it's the most popular one, but still, I think out of all of these, I still think this is the best one out of the 6. So I'm just going to vote Idol. And yes, that means that Oshinoko gets OP and ED. Best score. So this is actually, wow. Okay, so this is actually a very, very peculiar case. Um, okay, we have Oshinoko, Attack on Titan, Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, and Suzume. I did not expect Suzume to be on here, but obviously because it's Radwimps, um, I would definitely say that Suzume kind of deserves to be on here too, because Suzume's OST was actually really good. But all of these are already repeats, so this already makes it kind of repetitive within literally the first 4 categories that I've seen. So, out of everything that is on here, I honestly, so the reason why I'm not choosing on Attack on Titan is because it's the exact same OSC that they've been using, um, for over the past few times that they've been doing this series. And also, I just realized, but it's saying the studio name instead of the actual people who made the score, which is kind of peculiar. But if I had to pick one of them, I would actually say Bocchi the Rock. The amount of OSTs and insert songs that they have used for this series is insane. Oshinoko, I can only think of really like a few memorable tracks. Attack on Titan is always good. Chainsaw Man, I don't even remember a single one, to be honest. And then Demon Slayer is just Demon Slayer, and I honestly don't think that the OST is that good. Um, at least for this specific season. Um, so it would be between Bocchi the Rock and Suzume. Um, maybe throughout the categories. Maybe this is one of the ones that I'll change, or vote in a different day. Although I don't think I'm gonna be voting on a different day, but Bocchi the Rock, I feel like right now, it's a music show. Like, if this doesn't win, I feel like this is probably gonna get robbed the most. It's quite surprising, and I'm very happy that Suzume is actually on here. I genuinely didn't have any hope that Suzume would be on here, and I honestly think it was a very good film. But I would still give it to Bocchi the Rock right now, just because of the amount of more memorable OSTs that I remember from the show. So that goes to Bocchi the Rock. Um, I actually personally would not put any of these, or the one that I actually would like most that was supposed to be on this list, I feel like, is definitely, again, My Happy Marriage or The Dangers of My Heart. Um, My Happy Marriage's OST, I was going to talk about it in the video that I was going to do with Freeren, because it's also made by the same person, Evan Call, and I'll probably talk about it maybe next year when Freeren is going to be um, in this category probably. But I definitely feel like Freeren's OST overshadowed My Happy Marriages a bit, and people don't really seem to care about My Happy Marriages OST. But honestly, I think My Happy Marriages OST is definitely also one of Evan Call's best work. Of course, Evan Call kind of has not really done much in the anime industry, aside from a few other shows like Violet Evergarden. But I still feel like his music quality was generally some of the best that I've ever heard from him. And I even have like a bunch of his OSTs on like one of my playlists. Um, and some of them, or most of them, are actually from My Happy Marriage. So it's kind of crazy to think that My Happy Marriage is not on here um, yet in any of the categories that I've seen so far. Um, the Dangers of My Heart is also not on here, and I believe it was made by Kenshi Seo. Um, I don't know if that's the correct name or not, but I know, or I think he worked on Silent Voice or something like that. But I still think that the OST in The Dangers of My Heart is notable to the point that I feel like it should be nominated on here. But of course, that's just me. That's my preference. So, um, let's just skip on to the next category. Best anime song. Okay, so this is actually dumb because obviously last year it just was best opening and best ending sequences combined. There were no insert songs, I feel like, and um, that's something I feel like they made a large mistake on. And again, yeah, it is just opening and ending together. So, I actually don't get why this category is even here. If it's just best opening and best ending sequences, then it shouldn't be on here whatsoever. This category I feel like should talk about like insert songs that specific anime series might have used, um, songs that songs that voice actors might have done. Like you're not gonna give any credit to like the voice actors that sang their character's song. Like I get opening and ending sequences, but they're already in their own separate categories, so I feel like this shouldn't be here. But again, take back, I'm not too fond of. I already chose Oshinoko, and while I still think it's a good song, I don't think that I should vote for it twice. Um, Where Our Blue Is, I know the memes of it, so I guess Bochi the Rock should have been in the opening sequences, not just the anime song. Hell's Paradise I haven't seen, and I personally actually would give it to Suzume. I think Suzume's the main song is one of the most notable songs, I feel like. Even though I don't think it is as good, of course, as Your Name, um, I still feel like this was the song out of these six that I feel like I can remember. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick Suzume. Um, if there were any other anime songs, I don't think there are any other anime songs that I would have chosen, but yeah. Okay, so now it's just getting to the characters. So I'm gonna start with best main character and then go down. So best main character is Denji, Eren Yeager, Pochi, Moki no Mob, and Torfin. So the first thing is, why the hell is Luffy like getting? Why is One Piece starting to get into more categories? Like, was there genuinely nothing else that people watched last year? Like, there was definitely a lot of anime to watch this past year. And um, the second one that I do want to talk about is actually Torfin. Um, So the reason why, if you saw my community post, that I did not watch Vinland Saga season 2 was because for season 1, I genuinely hated Thorfinn as a character. Like, he seems like in the first season, it's really just about him trying to get revenge on this one person, and that was basically his character. It honestly pissed me off so much that it ruined the entire show for me. And I know that Thorfinn goes through a lot in season 2, but I still am not really giving it a chance because I feel like the overall um, show itself from season 1 was just not for me personally. Um, Aaron, I feel like he's been on here multiple times, and I feel like he's honestly not that good of a main character. Um, then probably two that I would say on here. Um, so the two that I am actually going, or let me go to the other one first. Denji, I don't think he's literally just Yuji in disguise. Like, except probably more horny. Like, there's literally I feel like no difference. Um, so I would go for either Mochi or actually Mob. Um, and I'm actually going to give this to Mob. So, um, I actually didn't watch Mob Psycho until this summer, I believe, and I just waited for the entire series to end. Um, Mob's character is probably one of the best that I've seen. Um, like season 3, you didn't necessarily have to be there because season 2 was more action filled, but season 3 was also like the character development that I kind of needed for um, Mob specifically. Um, and while it didn't have as large of action scenes as season 2, I feel like this season was like the final like cherry on top for Mob's character, and it was kind of needed. Um, Bochi, I feel like is a good character too, but again, it doesn't feel like Bochi is like the main character. It's obviously four different characters together. Obviously, Bochi is like we're in her perspective, but I feel like if it's best main character, Mob, it has to go to Mob out of these six. So I'm gonna vote for Mob. Also, I genuinely forgot that Mob aired in the fall of last year, but I'm actually very surprised that um, Mob is actually on here for once. What other main characters would I put? Um, I honestly think it's the two dads in Buddy Daddies. Um, not only were they just really funny, I feel like, but they also had like two dark sides to them that is more malicious, and it's kind of what they kind of had to hide from the kid, but um, that's really just the point of the show in general. Obviously, it's just kind of like Spy X Family, so um, I get also why Buddy Daddies hasn't gotten noticed yet, especially since Spy X Family um, literally aired the season before, and let me see if there are other ones. Oh, the Magical Revolution. I feel like the main two are obviously really good characters, and then besides that, um, I honestly think um, Anne from Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I feel like her journey is really um, her journey to become like a sugar like master has been kind of one heck of a ride. She kind of keeps growing as a character, and um, it still isn't done yet for her character. So I feel like as if there is an extra or more seasons, I feel like they are going to do a lot more with Anne's character. And then Onimai, I feel like the main, well, girl, I guess, who turned was turned into was a guy who turned into a girl. Um, I feel like it was just kind of discovering what a female is like, but at the same time, towards the end of the show, it kind of got more. You kind of felt the way that he or she or is kind of feeling. Um, Kind of just doesn't know what to do with their life, and then um, towards the end, they just start to develop a whole lot more character than I thought they were gonna do, and it's kind of amazing how this show was literally like kind of out of nowhere, and it I'm just kind of intrigued that the main character Onimai got as much development as they were going to. So um, yeah, so let's move on to the next category. Best supporting character. Okay, wait, this is actually a pretty stacked category. Reagan, Hanji, Kana, Power, Gojo, and Geto. This is actually a pretty good category, I feel like. But Gojo and Geto were the main characters in this specific arc. I feel like they should not be on here. But Power, definitely not. I feel like they only put Hanji on here because they kind of just well, this episode, if you haven't watched it already, Hanji is kind of the goat, but she of course dies. So I feel like they just put her on here for the respect. Kana is definitely a supporting character, and I think she's my favorite girl out of Oshinoko, but I am actually going to go with Reagan. This man right here was probably the most like annoying piece of crap out of the entire show. Like, he has this high ass ego, and he's just trying to use Mob a lot of the time, but then towards the end, he kind of does everything. He spills everything out in front of Mob. He does as much as possible to actually help Mob in general, and to see Reagan's character develop so much more in this one season alone is honestly one of the better character developments I've seen from a sub character. So I'm actually going to vote for Reagan. If there's any other side characters, I don't think there is, but yeah. I honestly don't get why this category is here either, but let's just see, I guess. Okay, holy crap. Okay, so the thing is that two of these are repeats, Anya and Boji. Nobody really talked about the side story for Ranking of Kings this year, so I feel like it shouldn't even be on here. But I'm actually genuinely happy that Miri is actually on. I genuinely thought that Buddy Daddies was not going to be on here, and this is definitely like the one category I feel like they should definitely have Miri on here. I feel like Miri is even more innocent than Anya. Like, Miri is like the typical kid that I feel like you would find more commonly than Anya. Like, Anya, of course, is like speculating a lot of things. Can read minds of other people. So, obviously, because it's supernatural, it doesn't really constitute like a kid in real life. But Miri is kind of like the exception of that. I have not seen The Witch from Mercury, so out of these five, I would actually say Miri, because even though she kind of feels like a runt at times, like this is exactly what you would find in like a kid in general. Um, I get why Pochita is on here. um, Bochi, I guess, but like that, I feel like this is not a protect character. It's more like relating to this character. Um, I feel like Miri out of all of these characters should be the one that should be protected the most. Like, Anya can do whatever shit. Miri can't do anything. And there's literally two dads that are literally trying to save her life. Um, if there's one other character to add on here, um, it's obviously Mio from My Happy Marriage. Um, she literally needs to be protected at all costs because she literally has probably, because it's a Cinderella story, like she literally has no power over anything, and I feel like towards the beginning of the show she kind of doesn't have like that strength or that power to help herself, and towards the end of the show I guess she started to like grow out of herself, so maybe in that case I wouldn't put her on here. But um yeah, I think out of these six, I think Miri should be voted on. Plus I feel like Anya's gonna win anyway, so yeah. Okay, 8 out of 25. Okay, so I'm gonna start down again. Okay, best slice of life. I'm actually really happy that they put this category here. It feels like this category should have been in the start of the Anime Awards, and they never have. Um, it might have been like kind of a different category, but I'm just going to go through this. Okay, best slice. Okay, I am very surprised about this category. So yeah, Bochi the Rock, do it yourself. I'm very surprised that do it yourself is in here. This show was absolutely not popular, and I watched it myself, and I do think it's one of the better slice of life shows. Horimiya as a slice of life is, I guess you could say that. Actually, wait, that is actually valid because season 2 I feel like was definitely more like a slice of life show rather than romance show. There's kind of more funny moments in there, and to be honest, I enjoyed it as much as season 1. Most people kind of dislike season 2 because it's not focused on the main two, but I honestly found that the bits and pieces that we had here in season 2 was what I kind of needed for other characters to shine a bit. Insomniac's After School is like a vibe, you know? Like it's, I know it's a romance anime, but um the the amount of attention and detail of the the characters, the background, the setting, it's really well thought out. I love story with Yamada-kun. I feel like this is definitely not the better slice of life show here. Um, I honestly didn't really like it compared to other people, but I still think it's valid for this category, I guess. And then Skiff and Loafer. This show got really popular over time, and I actually don't, or I'm actually not going to choose Skip and Loafer. I didn't enjoy it compared to other people, or as much as other people. I still liked it as a show, but I still feel like the other three shows that I talked about beforehand was definitely more orientated towards a better slice of life show. See, the problem with Horimiya and Insomniacs After School is that they do have that slice of life in them, but when I think about these two, I think more of romance, right? Even though they're not exactly romance the entire time, or they're only romance towards the end of the show. Skip and Loafer and Do It Yourself have both of these, or are the definition of best slice of life. I'm actually just really happy that Do It Yourself is on here. This is honestly probably the hardest category that I've had to choose so far. It has always been pretty easy to choose a series, in anime awards, but this is definitely one of the harder ones. Um, so if we actually go on to our list, um, I actually do have Insomniacs Out of School on top, but I would definitely say that in terms of best slice of life, maybe I'll switch. I'm going to actually pick um, Do It Yourself. I was kind of split between these three. Maybe I'll vote it for it another day, but I feel like Insomniacs After School was also carried a bit by the romance, so I can't just say that um, it was also best slice of life, although it was really good. Do It Yourself is like the one show that I feel like people kind of slept on. Um, I know it's just kind of like girls doing like building stuff, which honestly doesn't sound appealing whatsoever, but um, it's kind of like their dedication into doing stuff, and then the stories of all five members. Um, it kind of just intertwines really well, and I feel like whenever I sit down to watch Do It Yourself, even though it was like not my favorite show of that season, I still would like watch the show and then feel the vibes of having like that sense of calmness or whatever. But um, honestly, these three really well thought out. I'm very surprised that this specific category, um, which is honestly the category that I was looking forward to most because it was new this year, um, was the one that was absolutely the hardest. Um, I think if I had to put it in order, I'd probably put Do It Yourself first, then Horimiya, then Insomniacs. Um, it's just because Horimiya just wasn't as romance oriented as before. Um, and I found it really funny in general that the stories or the side stories of all the side characters. Um, so yeah, so actually vote on Do It Yourself. Best drama. Okay, so was there that many dramas last year? I honestly don't know, but we'll see. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Attack on Titan. No, I don't think it should be on here. Yeah, I guess Hanji was clear drama. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, I feel like. Um, Heavenly Delusion. I've not watched again. To Your Eternity season 2. Um, not a lot of people talked about this. I, including myself, I've not watched it. I watched season 1, but I heard season 2 was kind of like a downgrade. Um, but Vinland Saga, I actually do not know. I heard some other um, dark stuff actually happen in the show, but I just don't know what it is. So, um, it's definitely between Oshinoko and My Happy Marriage, and if I'm be honest, definitely My Happy Marriage. Um, Oshinoko actually has really good drama. Um, but I feel like Oshinoko is not really centered around drama. Um, of course, it's like one of the main genres, but it also has other factors into it. My Happy Marriage was more of like drama and supernatural. Um, and I honestly think if I were to think about a drama show from last year, I wouldn't first think about Oshinoko. It'd probably be somewhere along the list, but My Happy Marriage is definitely one of the shows that I would still think is the best drama. Um, but honestly, I'm actually a bit happy that My Happy Marriage has gotten something on here, surprisingly. But yeah, I think out of the shows, I would not add any other um, shows to be honest. Um, because honestly, the two that I've had the most on was definitely these two. So yeah, best fantasy. So I actually cannot believe this category. Demon Slayer's on here again, and if Demon Slayer wins again, damn, bro, there's no good fantasy anime, I guess. Um, I'm the one thing that I'm very surprised about is um, what is it called? Um, the Eminence in the Shadow is not here, and I know how popular that is among other people. Um, I actually hated my Eminence in the Shadow. I don't get why people like it, but I know a lot of other people like it. Um, the one thing that I'm also surprised about is Mashal. I have not watched Mashal, but it's crazy to think about that it's here. And then the biggest surprise I feel like is Ancient Magus' Bride. Um, People were more happy that the fact that it got a season two. It's getting a part two soon, I think. I have not watched the first or second season, but it's kind of like the situation of the Devil's a part timer again. It just feels like there was no one who really talked about it. They were happy that it got something, um, but I honestly don't think that there are that many good fantasy anime within the last year. Um, Actually, I call that back. Magical Revolution. Danmachi season 4 part 2 was what I had. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale was really good. Um, uh, I think those are the main ones that I feel like kind of got robbed. I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah. Uh, sh- yeah. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. Um, I think deserves to be on here. It's like the probably one of the better fantasy animes in general. Um, I know that fantasy has generalized to isekai only, but I still think it definitely deserves to be on here after the way the story's going. Danmachi season 4 part 2 was like the Danmachi that I wanted since like season 1. Um, it was solid, it was good. Um, the stakes were high, and um, I've never been more excited in Danmachi. And then Magical Revolution, I just think it was a good story all around. And even though it felt kind of rushed, I still think it was a solid romance, a solid action. So, um, this is an unfair category because I feel like that um, I have not watched four of these, and the only one that I'm actually going to give it to is Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei is not my personal favorite fantasy of last year. Um, the reason why I actually didn't put it on my community list was because um, there was nothing that really happened in it. It's just talking most of the time, and while it's actually necessary for Rudius's character, I still feel like this was the underwhelming season. Um, Obviously, we got a lot closer with a lot of characters, but it's not personally my favorite since there's a lack of action. Um, but yeah, and then also I feel like the animation kind of got downgraded a little bit. Um, Not to say that it's bad, but it's definitely a little bit step down compared to season one. But yeah, so this is what I'm voting for. Best action. So okay, so this is probably. I can't believe three MAPPA shows are just here, but um, I thought that Jujutsu Kaisen season two, the second part, would not count, but it's showing the poster for it. So, if that is actually what it is, then that means Jujutsu Kaisen will again be done next year, which kind of sucks. Um, Chainsaw Man's action was okay. Like, I respect to animators, but I don't think the action there was better. Attack on Titan, you kind of don't really think of it as an action show, to be honest. Um, it was for Special One. It kind of just was like a lot more talking, running, and then the action wasn't special too. So I don't know why it's here. Um, I swear One Piece is getting more categories on here than like most 2023 shows combined. Like, I don't know what's going on One Piece, but honestly, I don't think it should be on here. Um, Bleach, I haven't watched, so I don't know what to say. Um, the only one that I know for sure is good is, of course, Demon Slayer, but I feel like, out of respect for everyone, I think I'm actually gonna choose Demon Slayer. The reason being is because I don't think Attack on Titans was bad or anything, but there wasn't specific action. Chainsaw Man, I thought it was just okay. Um, Obviously, I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. I've actually watched some of the fights, and it looks pretty good, but I haven't watched the entire show, and um, I feel like if I were to vote on this, um, I know Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 is gonna win, obviously because of the MAPPA cases and stuff like that. Respect to animators and stuff. If I did watch season 2, I think I would actually put Jujutsu Kaisen, but reason being is that I actually do not really like Jujutsu Kaisen, to be honest. Season 1 kind of ticked me off, and I got spoiled. Um, I know most of the things that happen in Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Um, and I honestly just don't think that just Kaisen season 1 was honestly that good. It was just every typical shonen, um, and I feel like if I didn't watch season 2, then I shouldn't vote on it. Um, so I'm just gonna default to Demon Slayer. Um, Demon Slayer's action was good, but definitely a downgrade because of the pace of the show. But I feel like I'm just gonna vote for Demon Slayer because just guys I haven't watched, and I think it's better than the other ones. If there was best action involved, um, I honestly think that Danmachi's action was really good. Um, I'm just very surprised that they didn't really nominate that here because I feel like Danmachi's animation stepped up a notch compared to previous seasons, and it was pretty surprising to see, um, despite it being a much older series. Um, but yeah. Okay, best comedy. What did I laugh the most this year? So Bochi the Rock, Buddy Daddies, Magic Spy X Family, Urusei Yatsura, and Zom 100. Um, this is actually a peculiar case for me. These two I actually haven't watched. This one I obviously haven't watched. I don't think Spy X Family season 1 or 2 was comparatively that funny, and I honestly think Bochi the Rock is definitely one of the funniest shows that I've seen um, from 2022, but I'm actually going to give it to Buddy Daddies. The reason being is because I watched some dub clips, and the dub is actually amazingly funny. Um, I generally thought it would not be on here, and I think it definitely deserves it. Bochi the Rock is honestly probably gonna win. Um, if Buddy Daddies wins, I will be very surprised. But I honestly think that this is the one show that I feel like some people should watch it in dub because the dub was actually hilarious. Um, I think these were the two that I definitely feel like definitely should be on here, and these are the two that I would actually choose. So there's nothing really to add, except I think there's one other case, which is Onimai. Um, I don't know if people have watched Onimai, but I think it's pretty funny. But I feel like it should have been nominated on here, but I would definitely compare just these two. But I'm gonna give it a Buddy Daddies. Best romance. So if you remember from last year, Takagi was not on best romance, and I don't. I was pretty upset. Best romance category, I feel like I want to talk about a bit more, but this video is already kind of long, but I'll try my best to look at it. Oh my goodness. So, first things first. If the Takagi movie did not count towards last year's, where is it this year? I know it's not popular or anything, but I feel like it deserves something for its last movie / season. I'm very surprised that there is one show in particular that is not on here that I was actually going to talk about, and it's actually The Angel Next Door. I thought for sure Angel Next Door was going to be on here. I remember how popular it was in the beginning of the year, and a lot of people liked it, I feel like. But I'm genuinely surprised that Angel Next Door is not on here. So let me just go through everything first. I've watched all of these shows. So Horimiya, like I said, I don't think it was considered the best romance because it wasn't focused on the romance. My Happy Marriage, while I think it's a really good romance show, I don't think it was centered around romance first. It was definitely the drama. Skiff and Loafer, again, slice of life, not really romance at all. So I feel like Skiff and Loafer, I don't think it should be on here. I get why it should be on here, but it's not a romantic show, I feel like. Tomo-chan definitely deserves to be here, I feel like. My love story with Yamada-kun. I've already talked about my opinion about Yamada-kun, but I honestly don't really like it compared to other people. Probably one of my least favorite romances of the entire year. And then Insomniacs After School. This is honestly the biggest, or not the biggest, but probably the easiest choice for me, and it's definitely Insomniacs After School. Like I said before, there was also a vibe to it, but I definitely feel like the romance in this show was definitely top notch. I feel like developing, slowly building the characters up. You have these backstories that are really interesting to see, and the scenes that I talked about in my videos, they're probably one of the most beautiful scenes that I've seen in 2023, and honestly, probably one of the better romances of this entire year, I feel like. If there was, and then let's go back to Tomo-chan actually. Tomo-chan, I think definitely on here is definitely second, even though I didn't mention it on my community list. I definitely feel like Tomo-chan was definitely one of the better romances. Did I like it compared to other shows? Maybe not, but I still definitely am happy to see that Tomo-chan is here. Me being one of the people who watches romance the most, you obviously don't see the one major romance that I talked about this year, which is Kubo. I get why Kubo was not on here. Kubo is probably underrated compared to all these shows. And I also have bias, of course. I've read the manga. It's probably one of my favorite romance mangas of all time. Um, but I feel like because of the delays from COVID, um, it made it a lot worse for people to watch. And people just don't like to wait. So, of course, people just went to some other shows. And Kubo was definitely one of those shows that people just kind of skipped. Um, Too bad for them. I think Kubo is definitely should be on here over some of these others. Um, Obviously, it was in my list, and the reason why I didn't put it any higher in my list was actually because I know what arcs are gonna happen after this. We're only really in the beginning of Kubo, and I feel like as if there are more seasons to come, I would definitely say there should be more. Um, yeah, it should deserve to be here. And I just went through my list and I totally forgot about one other major one, um, which was the Dangers of My Heart. Um, I'm very surprised that Dangers of My Heart is not on here. Um, it definitely had one of the higher rating romance shows of the year, and I feel like a lot more shows were more popular than this, than some of these categories, and yeah, I'm just shocked that The Dangers of My Heart isn't even on here, and yeah, like I actually don't get why it's on here, like over Yamada-kun over that is kind of insane to think about. Um, if I had to remove one for like any of those shows, it would definitely be Yamada-kun. I feel like most people don't really prefer Yamada-kun after they watched it. Um, I get all the other categories, maybe not Skip and Loafer to be honest, or Horimiya. Um, you have to watch the entire Horimiya to actually see that it's not really romance. Skip and Loafer is just kind of slice of life, no romance really. Um, but I would definitely have switched those. I would absolutely switch Yamada-kun with something else. Um, and then the reason why I wanted to put Angel Next Door into the conversation was because there was another series that I put on my community list that I think that's far more substantially better than Angel Next Door, which was Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia is actually made by the same author as Angel Next Door, and I'm sorry, Project Number 9, but you skipped out on so much of the story, skipped so much development in the light novel, and um, if you were to compare the light novel pictures to the actual anime itself, I don't even think Angel Next Door competes with it at all. The amount of time on the couch is kind of insane to think about, and I just think that Saint Cecilia was overrated, or not overrated, um, underrated and overshadowed by Oshinoko that happened last season. It's the same exact studio, but I still think Saint Cecilia's story was definitely better. The characters were much more better than Angel Next Door, and that's also why I have it like higher on my list in the community post. Kind of shocking to say that, but that was exactly what I was going to say if Angel Next Door was going to be on here. So, yeah, I'm going to choose Insomniacs as a school since this is probably the one show I feel like, or one category I feel like it deserves. Alright, best art direction. Okay, um, okay, so this is just a repeat of everything from the past few categories. Um, I honestly don't get why people talk about best art direction when it's just a repeat of pretty much every other category, and there's honestly some series that are definitely better for best art series or at best art direction than these. Like Insomniacs out of school, like how do you see those scenes and not put it on here? Um, and I know that they've seen it because they put it on other categories. Um, Dangers in My Heart's art direction was insane. Um, Kubo's was exactly the same as the manga, and I feel like it represented it better. Um, Sugar Apple Fairy Tales was definitely one of the best. Um, like the level in the fairy's eyes was literally better than Gojo's, I feel like. And then the biggest surprise of them all was definitely Onimai is not on here. I feel like Onimai's art is definitely distinct. Like you could definitely tell the difference between Onimai and other shows, and I definitely feel like Onimai had definitely one of the better arts um, in this um, in this overall year. So definitely feel like it should be here. But looking at all these, and I think people are gonna say Zama 100. I've seen some of the art in Zama 100. It's kind of insane to think about. Just as Kaisen maybe, but I'm again just gonna go with Oshinoko. Um, it is probably the only one that I feel like had distinct art style. Um, Style flowed well, and I feel like better than some other shows like Demon Slayer is just Demon Slayer. Hell's Paradise I haven't seen, and Chainsaw Man I just feel like was a regular standard. So I'm just going to pick Oshinoko. Best cinematography. I think that this is a new category, um, but yeah. Maybe the things that I'll talk about are on here. So, cinematography. Okay. This is like this is actually just the MAPPA category. Like, do you see how many MAPPA stuff are on here? Like, do you not see like other shows this year? Like, bro, you can't do this. You can't bring up this new category and then like dedicate it to MAPPA just because of MAPPA. I get MAPPA has been doing a lot of work. I am troubled by the fact that their employers are not doing well. Um, but a best cinematography category is just literally just a dedication to MAPPA. I feel like so. I am again saying Demon Slayer. Um, I know that Jujutsu Kaisen is going to win this for sure. Season 2 definitely looks really good. Um, but again, just like that one other category that I said from before, I haven't watched Kaisen. Attack on Titan cinematography was okay. Chainsaw Man's was okay, and I haven't watched these two. So if I were to give it respect of me not being I would watch Kaisen, then I would actually give it to Demon Slayer because again, I still feel like it's better than these two. People will definitely argue with me on that, and I definitely do agree that there might be some other shows that are better, but I'm just gonna give it to Demon Slayer because I personally definitely think that definitely had some good cinematography scenes. Best director. So this is kind of a difficult category because people don't really know what's best director, you know? Like so if you give it best director, central importance behind the scenes and of their animators. So it's really funny because this man literally left MAPPA to create his own studio because people were kind of trash talking about him. I still feel really bad about him. People are just kind of coping, and it's just not okay that people are kind of doing this to this man just because Chainsaw Man just didn't meet their expectations. Best director for special one. I honestly don't think that it was that good, to be honest. Literally at the start of the episode and at the end of the episode, I felt the exact same. Like I felt like nothing had happened except for the one major thing, which was that Hanji dies, of course. But it felt like that was the one thing that happened, and then that was the episode. And then we had to wait another 8 months. Um, Not to say that the episode was bad or anything, but I would definitely say that Attack on Titan um, definitely does not have the best director on here. Um, just Kaisen, and I would actually give it to Bochi the Rock. If you have seen the manga panels, or you know the amount of attention that this director put into Bochi the Rock and make it a reality is insane. Um, the shots where Bochi the Rock, or in Bochi, where um, Bochi literally is turned into a 2D object and then thrown into walls was like was definitely one of the um, kind of one of the weirdest directions that it could have taken, but because of that, it made Bush the Rock so much more funnier than what it was actually like. Um, and then Oshinoko, I feel like definitely had good direction. Um, that 1 hour and a half episode was pretty well done, and but I would definitely say Butchie the Rocks is definitely better. Um, Best character design. Um, let's see. So this is a repeat of basically everything, and the one good thing that I feel like is definitely Trigun Stampede. I of course didn't watch it, but this again is just what comes down to um, how do the characters look and how do they behave and stuff. And I'm sorry again, but I'm gonna pick Oshinoko. Chainsaw Man's was maybe the better competition. Like Demon Slayer is just Demon Slayer. Jujutsu Kaisen, they're literally in school uniforms. Hell's Paradise I haven't seen. Trigun and Stampede I haven't seen, but I know it's pretty distinct. Um, if it were Chainsaw Man or Trigun Stampede, um, if I watched Trigun Stampede, maybe. But I know I'm not really into like Trigun. Um, Chainsaw Man definitely had some different character designs. Um, Maybe this is the one category that I might accept it having, but I would definitely say Oshinko's like the drawings, like the characters themselves, like the eyes especially when they when characters are like in a situation that they can't really find themselves um, looking like beyond themselves, like their eyes start to like die out um, when things happen in the dark, like Aqua's eyes turning dark whenever he thinks of something malicious, like um, character changes, character models. I still think that Ashiniko probably has the better design out of all of these categories. Um, it's something new, I would definitely say, even though they're mostly in school uniforms. But yeah, I would definitely say that Oshinoko has the better ones. Best animation. So, the worst part about this is that there's already best cinematography. So why is there, and best art direction. So why is this here if this is here? It's just going to be a repeat. So if you look at best animation and then compare it to best cinematography, let's see exactly how many the same things are on here. Yeah. These three are all the same. This is also here. And then these two are exactly are the different ones. Um I'm just surprised that they bring up these categories and they don't really talk about other series that should deserve a chance. Um, Again, every single category is going to go to Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, there's no question in my mind that every single one of these categories is going to be Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, I feel like there's nothing that will compete with it. Um, and I know that most people will definitely say that for sure. But I'm again picking Demon Slayer because literally I still think that it's better than these. So, like I said, um, because of me not watching Jujutsu Kaisen and me thinking that these ones are better, I definitely would just say Demon Slayer. Um, Monocycle 100, again, um, it wasn't really focused on its animation for the most part, except for the final battle at the very end. Um, Overall, I think that Demon Slayer is probably just better than other ones, so I'm just gonna go for Demon Slayer. Best original anime. Okay, yeah. So I was really questioning about what was really considered the best original anime. Um, but as I look at these other categories, I definitely get what the other ones were going to be about. Akuma Maid War I did not watch, so um, that one was out. Um, if I had watched Gundam, probably would pick Gundam. I think most people would say that Gundam is definitely the better one. Um, but I'm going to pick Buddy Daddies. I just think that it's probably the better ones out of all the other shows. And while Do It Yourself is on here, I still think that Buddy Daddy is personally better for me. Um, I don't know if there's any other original animes that I would have picked, but I definitely say that Buddy Daddy is on my list. So yeah. Then best film. So this is going to be a good one. Oh, okay. So this was the category that I was actually going to be surprised about. Um, the first time that I heard was good. Suzume was good. Um, Psychopaths. I didn't even know that there was this option. But Blue Giant was on here, and then Black Clover was on here. I would definitely say that I have not watched any of these, but the one that I would actually go for here is Kaguya-sama. The fact that Kaguya had this movie was definitely a good choice because that arc is pretty small. But after this arc gets to another level, um, but I still think that this was the movie that I remember the most. Aside from Tagai movie, which was and will never be on any people's list. Um, but I know Suzume is a good film still. I'm very surprised that it was in other categories. Um, I'm very surprised that was not in a different category, um, despite it being on here. But I'm gonna vote for Kaguya because this is the film that I actually will remember the most. Um, Best new series. So this is a peculiar case again because best new series can mean literally anything. Um, Best new series can be just like the start of an anime or a anime manga or light novel or whatever. Um, but best new series could also mean something like Bocchi the Rock, where um, it's going to have only one season and that's it. Like, it's just not going to continue from there. So, I would definitely say that again. It goes to Oshinoko. I know I've voted for Oshinoko over 5 times already, probably, but Moshi the Rock was a solid show. Chainsaw Man. I think throughout this video you've probably seen, but I don't really prefer Chainsaw Man's action or like pace that it had. And these three I just haven't seen yet. But Oshinoko being new series and having more seasons afterwards is something that I myself I'm looking forward to, and yeah. Then best continuing series, just don't think this category should be here in the first place. It's like this is like yep, like I said, or what I was gonna think about. One Piece is always on here, and this is literally just a dedication to One Piece. And if One Piece isn't on here, then yeah. And if One Piece doesn't win, then I'd be surprised. Best continuing series. People again are actually gonna pick Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like no matter what category Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be in, Jujutsu Kaisen is going to win those categories. But for once, I'm actually going to pick Spy X Family. One Piece again. Watch Vinland Saga. I've not watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't watched, but remember that this still is going to be in next year's, so it's not finished yet. And then Demon Slayer, I just don't think that this arc was specifically better than in any cases. Spy X Family has always been just good Spy X Family. There's nothing that would change that. And while I didn't make it on my community list, yeah, I would definitely say that Spy X Family definitely deserves it here. We're finally at the anime of the year. Hopefully some of my stuff will be on there, but if not, that's what it typically is. But let's just see what it is. So, yeah, Oshinoko, Mochi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Vinland Saga. So, my biggest problem is, again, 3 MAPPA. Yes, there's 3 MAPPA. I just don't get it, to be honest. Chainsaw Man, although it definitely deserves some representation, and it's really popular, definitely does not deserve to be on here. I feel like it's too soon for it to happen. There's more things that are probably going to happen later on. And I feel like Chainsaw Man just hasn't reached that yet. Vinland Saga Season 2, it's only been in a few other categories, but I understand why it's on here. I heard it was really good. Just Kaisen obviously understands why it's on here. Demon Slayer should not be on here. Demon Slayer has been pretty much in every single year since it's aired, and I honestly just don't think that this is one of the better arcs, and this is a wasted slot every single year, maybe except the entertainment district arc, but I know that there are definitely other shows that should have been on here. Budget the Rock is valid, I would say, and then this is a no-brainer of a choice, but it's again Oshinoko. You see my community list. I haven't. If you haven't seen my video on Oshinoko yet, you should probably do. I voted on like 6+ probably for Oshinoko, but the major reasons are its well thought story. Its first 1.5 hour long episode that sets up everything. People say that Oshinoko dropped off after episode 1, but I think quite the opposite. Um, I think it definitely sets everything up, and then it gets even better as the series progresses. It's not just that one first episode was a fluke, alright? Like, it's definitely progressed well. Um, I'm very excited for season 2. Um, but again, I like great show all around. Um, it pretty much had everything that I wanted in an anime. It had drama, it had romance, it had like super funny moments, or like idle moments. Like everything was spectacular. I feel like animation, it's just overall a good show, and I feel like this is obviously a popular pick, but I mean, look at all these choices, right? They're all popular. Um, but I feel like the only thing that really competed, um, as you see in my community list, is free rent. Um, but free rent is going to be counted as next year, and My Happy Marriage, which is not on here. Um, free rent I'll probably talk about next year or its own video or whatever. But um, My Happy Marriage, I feel like deserved a bit more representation, especially with its characters. It's especially the OST category. I'm surprised it was not on there. Um, My Happy Marriage, I feel like deserves it as like, despite it only having one season, and it probably had like a better ending to a show, and it's only through one season. We're getting multiple seasons after this, and the fact that it kind of ended on like a pretty good note, and the fact that we're getting more afterwards, is something exciting for me to see. Um, My Happy Marriage is also one of the best, like, if you really count it shoujo, probably one of the best shoujos of last year. Um, I'm just really sad to see that My Happy Marriage just didn't get that much um, representation this year. But Oshinoko, I'm just going to vote for it because, um, yeah, out of all these, I would definitely say it deserves it the most. So, that is basically all of the categories I would be talking about. In English, I'll probably vote for someone random. Um, but I'm just gonna talk about a few things. So, I feel like this year I didn't really care as much about the categories, except for romance, obviously. I feel like the anime awards are just going to stay the same route as it has been kind of for like the past 2 or 3-ish years. Um, it's kind of gone to a downhill slope, and it still kind of is. Um, I think this year it's definitely a lot better in terms of nominations. Like the fact that I saw Do It Yourself was on here, Skip and Loafer was on here. There were things that I feel like alright, let's go back to best list. There's things that I feel like should have been in other categories as well, which I'm bummed about. But the fact that they did actually represent like Do It Yourself or Insomniacs After School, Skip and Loafer, I'm just surprised that they actually did dedicate some like series to actually be put on here, and I think it definitely deserves to be on here. I'm just very surprised that there's things like The Dangers of My Heart. Where was that? Definitely aired last year. I think people found it more popular, and people liked it a lot too. So I'm very surprised that The Dangers of My Heart was not on here. I get there were people who didn't like the first 3 episodes, but after that, I'm pretty sure it was a pretty good series. Um, the biggest one that I am not fond of, but also it totally makes sense, is Onimai. Um, as you can see probably from my community post, it was number 4 on my list. Um, I was originally going to talk it in my videos, or I was going to talk about it in a video. Um, you've probably seen my comment about how Onimai kind of came out of nowhere. Um, but I found the comedic parts really funny. It's something that I just didn't expect um, from this show. Um, the art style was amazing. The expressions were really good, and when the final episode hit, um, I was genuinely surprised by the amount of development that I said before the main character got. Um, it had some of the most gorgeous animation that I have seen, besides just Kaisen, this entire year from that one episode alone. It had higher levels of animation, better than Mushoku Tensei's first season within that one episode. Um, it was surprising to see that Studio Bind kind of went all in to the series that was kind of a meme, kind of a joke um, towards the anime community. But I feel like there was just no one that really like wanted to represent this anime better. It feels like a joke, but honestly, it just really wasn't a joke towards the end. Um, I didn't expect the amount of feelings that I got towards the last episode. Um, it's something that I just did not expect from anime like that, and that's why I kind of think that Oshima is kind of here. Um, it was probably one of the better, best slice of life shows, in my opinion. It should also be on here. Um, yeah, so I'm actually really happy Buddy Daddies was on here several times, in fact. I think even more than My Happy Marriage, which is kind of weird, but um, I definitely think Buddy Daddies deserves it. Um, Kubo and Saint Cecilia should have been somewhere. Um, I'm very surprised Angel Next Door was not on the romance list or anywhere else. Um, Danmachi season 4 or 2, and then Magical Revolution. Yeah, so these were kind of the shows that I feel like, or at least like bottom half of my list was kind of just wasn't shown on here, and I definitely get it because these are kind of more under the radar shows, but I feel like the categories they should be more representative of just things, not just mainstream anime, right? It should be something more towards the outside, which they definitely tried to do this year for sure. Like these choices that I've seen is definitely well thought out compared to previous years. It's definitely something that I would like to continue to see, and also if they continue that way, I think it'll do better. But if like just Kaisen wins every category, Attack on Titan wins every category, Demon Slayer's gonna win every category again, then I would definitely say that all the nominations kind of go for nothing, you know. I don't think that there's much other things to talk about. Um, Maybe Mob Psycho should have deserved more space. Oh, and I'm very surprised about one particular series, which is Blue Lock. Um, Blue Lock was aired last year, in the winter and 2022 during the fall. Um, I'm very surprised that I didn't get a single nomination. Could have been for best action. There was literally 3 other categories that had like best action, best animation, and stuff like that. Surprised Blue Lock was on there. It was one of the most talked about shows, especially since the Olympics happened. There was also the Slime movie, which was okay, I guess. I definitely get why it wasn't shown. And then let's try to look through. I don't think that there's anything else really to mention. Obviously, there's a lot of fall shows that I could talk about as well. But yeah, I think I've talked about what I'm going to talk about. So um, I think I'm just going to end it here. So thank you guys for watching the video. Um, I hope you were able to get like some of the thoughts that I had in my head while I was doing my community list. I explained everything that I thought about here. I don't know when this will be posted, but probably soon. But thank you for watching my videos as always. Hopefully 2024 is gonna be a good year. I've already seen some of the anime shows that are gonna be lined up, and it's kind of sad to be honest. Not this winter, obviously. Winter, I feel like there's a lot less than I thought there was going to be. That at least piqued my interest. So I don't know if I'm gonna be making any videos on winter, but I think that's it for me. My name is Ramen, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep on watching anime.